What's going on, people? Good morning and welcome to United View. Can we call it a transfer view? Are we there yet? It's not January yet. It's not a transfer
No,
view, but
I
it
mean
kind of is, though.
we haven't got the logo. It's not the logo yet. It's just it's just
It's a bit.
I don't know what it
It's a
is.
bit.
It's you and I having a chat with everyone this morning. You know what I mean? It's the morning.
100%. It is. Do you know what? Actually, it does feel weird. It's been a little while since we've done a morning show together, actually.
Yeah.
So big up to the community. Big up to everyone. Smash a like on the video if you're getting your morning porridge or your morning breakfast, or you're up with the kids during half term, or you're in a different country and you're dropping the kids to school, or you're on your way to work, whatever it is, or you're working from home. Big up to you. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's get straight into it. A little bit of transfer news, even though it isn't the transfer show, etc. Joao Felix January deal. What's going on there? And what we got? Is this all just nonsense, or has it come from somewhere credible? And what's been said?
So it does come from somewhere credible, it must be said. It comes from actually, surprisingly, from reports in Germany. And it kind of broke late last night. And it was almost a bit of a one where when it appears on social media, you go, really? And you have to go on to a website from another country and do the whole translation thing. But it is real. So it's Mark Barenbeck from Sky Sports News over there in Germany. And the actual article itself is talking about Bayern Munich's interest in Joao Felix. But during it, you do get some Manchester United news, because it kind of concludes by saying that Manchester United are an interested party in the Atletico Madrid striker. By all accounts, Felix is very dissatisfied with life at the Wanda Metropolitano and no longer has a good relationship with Diego Simeone. And it must be said, of course, Manchester United did reportedly have interest in Felix over the summer. There was those reports, rumours, I don't know if they were actually true or not, but was it a €100 million bid that came out of nowhere and disappeared very, very quickly? But it must be said, this also isn't the first time in the last, I think, like week or so that United have been linked to Joao Felix. I think there were reports last week saying that, it might be one of a number of striking options that United look at next summer. So, look, you're talking about January, it feels unlikely, but this might be one to watch for next summer sort of situation.
Yeah, my first things of it are this. Look, we've got from the outside looking in, not even just from the outside looking in, we have an issue with Ronaldo. We do. So that means that whether you agree or not, there needs to be a solution found, which we'll talk a little bit about later in the show. But there is something going on, because I think if you come around here and say, oh, it's over for Ronaldo and he has to leave right now and stuff like that, that's fine if that's your opinion. But there's also a whole other section that says, well, hang on a minute, etc., etc. So if we just go down the line that we all agree on, that there is an issue here, and it looks like it's not going to last much longer than the summer, or definitely not, past January, or definitely not summer. So what that does immediately with a player as high profile as Ronaldo is just open up the conversation to be linking Manchester United to many strikers, which is understandable to somewhat extent, because even with Ronaldo here, we've been saying, and with Martial being injured and stuff, we need a reliable striker, one that fits the profile, because clearly Ten Hag doesn't think that Ronaldo is that. He does think Martial is that, but Martial's not fit. So that just sparks up this debate. And Joao Felix, I think, is an easy one, because the type of profile of player that he is. If it hasn't been going well with him and Diego Simeone, then again, there's more grounds to put Manchester United's name into the hat as a potential suitor. It's funny that actually, that you say in the article or the piece that was done on Sky in Germany was, like you said, actually about Bayern Munich, but it somehow finds its way at Manchester United's doorstep.
Yeah.
So that already to me seems a bit okay. Noted. Thank you.
Red flag. Red flag.
Red flag. It's noted because, domestic journalists haven't come to this as of yet. Be interesting to see what happens. It is just that one fairly reliable source out there in Sky, but I don't think we should take that as complete gospel. But I think it also, as well, when you get news in the media that, again, can kind of positively confirm what you might want. So actually it's a bit more soothing on the eyes or the ears to hear it. So it gets a little bit more traction, because it's like, well, it's not really working with Ronaldo. Joao Felix would be a good option, in my opinion. I think he's a fantastic player. That could happen. Yeah. So it gets a little bit more leverage. So, yeah, I would say keep an eye on it, but I can't see it happening in January. I'd be very, very surprised if that happened.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. I mean, we're talking about a player that was signed for was it 100 million euros, 100 million pounds?
120, I think.
120.
Yeah, 120
It was
million euros, yeah.
a really significant amount of money. And that he would not go he just would not go in January. It's not a January deal to be done. Now, to your point, clearly Manchester United are looking for a striker next summer. It's a high priority. We were looking for one last summer, and we didn't get it. And irrespective of Ronaldo's future, his future's not at Manchester United just because he's an older player anyway. We're still looking for that number 9. As you mentioned, Martial. In an ideal world, he would be that guy. We don't know what his future is going to look like in terms of injuries and fitness and what have you. So even that's somewhat of a concern. So Felix, I'm sure, is one of several names that Manchester United are looking at, right? But as far as January, I feel like that's unlikely. And you could even argue with someone like Joao Felix, if he really wanted to look at the type of number 9 that Manchester United are looking for, is he even really that guy? He's a player that's fluid in a front three, I would suppose. Not a traditional striker either. I consider him more of an attacking midfielder, to be honest. So
yeah,
that's a difficult one.
Looking at him, yeah, I think under Ten Hag, I think you can kind of expect not the unexpected, but players who you might think might not be the station seasoned number 9, maybe expect it in a different way. If we keep going back to Ajax, it's like, I know it's not the same thing. Players, Davy Klaassen, mate, was like, a number 9,
Yeah.
Haller actually is, he's an old school, to the feet, to number 9. And Martial, he's played a lot at number 9 before he got here, and then Eric just kind of refined him in the 245 minutes we've seen him play, or whatever it's been. But I think Joao Felix could work. I think I do think it could work. But you're right, he's not. It's a weird one. If you said like list the top number 9s in the world, Joao Felix probably wouldn't be at the top of that list. You're right, he'd just be one of the top attacking players in the world, because he definitely is. Look, mate, he tore us a new one last year. Absolutely tore us a new one, home and away. He played really well, and he scored obviously after only a few minutes at the Wanda Metropolitano. I remember that. And when he came away, he was just at it. I think he was part of the goal that they did score as well. Or was it 0-0? I can't remember the second leg. What was it? We lost 1-0.
1-0, and then basically
1-1, 1-0.
And basically the ball was not in play for like 20 minutes after that. It was insane.
Absolute shithousery. But when it was in play as well, though, he just looked good. I remember that. Met him afterwards, actually. I said to him, "Thanks for taking the piss out of us." But you
didn't shake his hand, did you?
I didn't shake his hand.
Okay, so there's a possibility he still can come to the club. Okay, that's fine. Because if you said, "Oh yeah, I shook his hand," I go, "Well, why are we bothering doing this? Because it's game over already." Really,
I am going to confess because I don't like lying.
Oh no,
I didn't shake his hand.
You didn't.
I didn't shake his hand, but I said I fist pumped him. I said, "Yo, man."
Well, maybe trying to look at it from a positive point of view. Maybe it's actually worked out positively, because now you gave him a fist pump and suddenly, he's dissatisfied with life in Madrid. His relationship with his manager's gone to pot. So that's because of you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's evidence. There's evidence, okay?
I said hello to a lot of people that night as well.
How are they doing at the moment?
One Matter's not here anymore. Lingard's not here anymore. Harry Maguire hasn't been playing and has been terrible. Who else I said? I said hello to Lindelof. He's about to come into the team. Okay. Bruno, I said hello to. He's still here. He's doing all right.
Had some bad form after
Elanga, gave him a hug. Elanga's probably about to come into it. Did well against Chelsea.
Gave him a hug. Then he spent entire preseason without wearing a shirt. You want to get rid of all of that. You know what I mean?
Said hello to Matic that day. Matic isn't here. Yeah. Well, let's move on.
but with Felix, though, with Joao Felix, what I was thinking, we're talking about the suitability of him being a number 9 for United. Could you actually see a situation where, he plays 9, but thinking about how fluid that all could be, you could then have someone like Bruno who plays in behind him. They could just be switching back and forth the entire game, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could. They really could. He is that good. I think anywhere in the 9 or the 10. Or if you went with a 2 up front, which I know traditionally we don't do, but if there was a 2 up front with him just off them, then yeah, I think it could work. I think he's a really exciting player, man. I like Joao Felix. I think he's got a great level of ability. And actually, when you look at him, you kind of think, oh, he's the sort of player who needs to be out of that Simeone mold.
Sort of
Like that football's holding him back. Yeah, imagine him under Erik ten Hag. So to sum it up, and you guys have your say, I don't think it will happen in January. I think that will be beyond us. It'll be interesting to see what happens today with Ronaldo, which we're going to go on to in a minute, and just look at what's going to happen. Because if Ronaldo does leave in January, we are going to need someone. I'm not confident.
I've seen some wild theories of people going, I tell you, yeah, we're going to do a swap move in January. Are you kidding me?
For who? What? For Joao Felix?
They'll go. You know what people are like when they go, well, we've got a striker here that was linked to Atletico in the summer, and they've got a striker they want away. And you go, oh, it's as simple as that, is it? Oh, yeah. We're gonna swap. Was it a 37-year-old?
Atletico,
how old is he?
Holding up a banner.
Yeah,
24, 23, something like that.
Exactly.
Young.
He's still incredibly young. And to your point, in general, I mean, look, things might get resolved between now and the end of the season anyway. But on top of that, with Felix, when he moved to Atletico in the first place, a lot of people went, "That's an odd move," because this was this guy from Benfica, like you said, like not generational talent, but there was a lot of hope for him, really attacking flair player going into the team in Europe you probably least associate with flair, which is a Diego Simeone side. So it does feel like he's somewhat wasted. But look, we'll have to wait and see. It's one of these ones where, you're not in the transfer window and you're not even in anywhere near the summer transfer window where a big deal like this would happen, and they kind of come up and it's kind of a wait and see. Sometimes there is something to it. It's kind of like a teaser for what's to come in 9 months' time. Or it's just a case of, you remember when a couple of months ago we were talking about we were interested in Joao Felix? It's one of those ones, so we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. Well, there has been a few more reports on this and some domestic outlets getting on it. We have the Mirror, who have also reported that Joao Felix is unhappy at Old Trafford, at Atletico Madrid.
That was quick.
Exactly. But also they mentioned two other strikers, because their headline is that Ten Hag names three strikers, favours three forward signings ahead of Man United target Joao Felix. They're claiming that there's three players ahead of him that Erik ten Hag would prefer, and those players are Moussa Dembele from Lyon, Patrick Schick from Bayern Leverkusen, and Lille's Jonathan David. So these are all, and then you add the Victor Osimhen thing into that. I think there's going to be like a cluster of players, and that's from the Mirror, by the way, guys. Go on.
Did you see Osimhen's goal against Roma?
No, I saw a picture of Chris Smalling trying to get to him, and the fact that he scored and it was 1-0. What happened? Was he just clean through and just?
It's a proper goal, Flex. It's a good goal.
Is it?
It's literally, so it's like a ball in behind. First of all, Osimhen is behind Smalling, so he has to to beat him for a bit of pace. He has him for a bit of pace, but also strength, and then he sort of diagonal. Yeah, and then he sort of diagonal on the sort of right-hand side of the box, and somehow he manages to find the side netting of the to the goalkeeper's right. It's a brilliant goal. It's a proper goal that you go, that is.
Like when you go to watch the highlights and on the Serie A's official YouTube channel, it's Osimhen stuns Roma with a belter.
It's brilliant. Like I saw some criticisms.
Never use that word.
Yeah, I saw some criticisms of Chris Smalling for it, and you sort of go, I don't even know if it's necessarily bad defending. He just got out strength, and even so, he's got so much to do for his finish. And again,
Chris Smalling's been playing well,
really well for Roma. And I think if Roma had won, they'd gone off a point off top. But Napoli are still unbeaten in Serie A. It's a serious goal. Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
How's he scored from that angle? Look,
exactly, it's
Smalling.
The angle.
Oh, Smalling.
I don't even think it's terrible defending.
No, that's just fantastic.
It's just he's done all. It's like I said, he gets the run on him. It's a bit of strength, but still he's got so much to do. And how he manages to find the side netting.
Oh, clean strike. He can strike it clean. No Bruck foot. Clean. Look at that.
It's proper.
Oh, it goes out then in. Oh,
it's a goal. It's a real good goal.
Oh, that's away at Roma as well.
Yeah,
mate. I want him. I'm going to do a KG on that.
But he will be. I mean, their price they wanted him in the summer was 100 million euros. I think he'll be a 100 million euro player. Yeah, he'll be a 100 million euro player, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but then if you're going to outlay 100 million, would you want it to be on someone like that who clearly has got a lot of talent, who's clearly got a lot of longevity, versus the argument of how much could we afford to spend on a striker in the summer? We're definitely not going to get one in January because I think, one, they don't want to rush, they don't want to panic and just get a stocking filler. I think Erik ten Hag would rather either struggle with keeping Ronaldo until the end of the year, end of the season, which it may look untenable right now, but football works in funny ways. It might not be great. He's still going to moan, and it won't be great, but we'll get through. Or like Gary Neville's been saying, and what a lot of other people have been saying, just let him go somehow, somewhere, release him from the contract, whatever you need to do, and then just struggle with Martial. Martial will get fit again. He will. It's just when he does come back, is it going to be again for 45 minutes, or are we going to be able to keep him fit? Does he just gamble and just keep playing Marcus Rashford up front and say we've got to just swap things around?
I mean, the Rashford thing, I've seen the criticisms of Rashford saying his finishing is rubbish and he's just leathering the ball and all that kind of stuff. And you go, okay, but he's not meant to be playing there anyway. He's a stopgap for playing in that role. He needs to improve his finishing, absolutely. But I've seen the comment, it's English bias again, British bias. And I'm like, well, if anything, I think we should be complimentary that saying this is a guy that shouldn't be playing as a number 9, but he is because both the other strikers aren't available.
Exactly.
He's far more effective off the left-hand side. And when he's played off the left this season, on the rarity we've been able to play our number 9, he's been effective. So, I think for the role he's having to do, he's doing all right. And to your point, imagine we did have a number 9 that was there every week.
Exactly, all the time. If Martial was just there every week when we saw what he was trying to cook, it would completely change us. And it's so annoying. It feels like every time we remember that we have him, it's like we're going to get a new player when he's back because he's so important to what this system is. And I'm sure Ten Hag feels that as well. But just on him really quickly before we go to Ronaldo or Martial, he just keeps saying it. Everyone, nope, not in training, nope, not there, no. This is another long-term injury. I mean, you said it, didn't you? You said his back injury, and he's like, okay, we'll wait to see. It looked a bit innocuous in the warm-up against Everton. Carried on for half an hour, got an assist, and then it was like, okay, take me off. And then it's like, haven't even seen him since remotely, and it's like, it's bad.
I mean, I think he said last time in the press conference before the
Spurs game
that he said he was back on the grass, but he wasn't with the group or something like that. And I wouldn't blame Ten Hag at this point because you know what? This guy, and they have been different injuries, so it's not a case of we rushed him back too soon because they didn't. Just a different part of him breaks down for whatever reason. Yeah. I would just assume it's like, okay, we are really taking our time this time. Yeah. We're making sure he's getting full MOT. Right?
He's going to have to get the Varane treatment. He's going to have to get the Varane system. As we left Carrington a couple of weeks ago, because it was after that game that he got injured. What was that? Where Varane got injured a little bit, and then he was out for like half again. Like he came on late against Everton.
He was against City.
Yeah. So then he was on the bench against Everton.
But he wasn't even like really injured because he was still good enough to come on, or still good enough to be on the bench. But they were like, "No, we are taking."
Weren't a proper injury, exactly. And I think that's what's happening with Martial. And long may it continue. Let him come back quick is what I want to say. We just need him. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. As you can see above me and Owen's heads. Yes, as you can see, all down there. The match view is on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Match day reloaded, as you're going to get every single morning after. The morning after the night before show. The match day reloaded, Friday at 9 a.m. Do remember, I mean, that show is really picking up. Owen does a great job on that. And you guys really enjoy it, actually, as well. It's always going to be a breakdown of what happened the night before. And also, once you get all of the comments and different opinions from pundits and players and managers, and once the dust has settled, there's always a lot to talk about first thing after a game. So please remember, after every single game we play this season, there will be a match day reloaded. So if you want to get your comments in, you want to get your questions in, and you want to have your say, please get involved with Owen the day after. Matches and the full view, if you haven't seen it from last night, make sure you check it out after this as well. That is out now.
I tell you what, I mean, just before I checked on KG when he was on the Undefeated, his boxing podcast. I checked on it. I thought,
did everyone go?
Yeah, they did. They did. And his curse, what's his name? Travis was looking at the comments. There's a lot of people in the comments that are really coming for you right now. Flex sent me. You're a disgrace. You walked out. You're suspended. And they were just ignoring it. And then they went to the comments for something. They went, there's a lot of people that are coming for KG at the moment. So well done.
Loved that. Well done, you lot. Well done. Well done. Keep giving him grief. Moving on, face-to-face talks. Let's get into this now because today is the day where there are going to be face-to-face showdown talks with Eric Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo, where he will learn his fate. I did a piece with Sky Sports News on their paper talk yesterday morning, and it was talking about, it was a piece in the Mirror talking about Ronaldo being like that, he's sweating on his fate, because actually it's turned into what the piece was insinuating was that actually this has turned into Ronaldo sweating over whether Eric Ten Hag's even going to let him back or not, and what that looks like. So I disagree with that. I think Ten Hag's plan has always been what he's said in that presser, which is, I want to deal with this quickly and sharply and to the point. You apologize behind closed doors. We sort it out. You take your 2 weeks fine, and you're training with the under 21s, under 23s, plus not in the Chelsea squad, and we get back at it. Why? Probably a little bit of both of them, because I think we need him. We're going, like, as a squad player, we need him. He's got to come off the bench. He's got to start in games here or there. And he's still a Manchester United player, regardless of what he thinks. Some people may think tear up the contract now. Maybe there isn't a way back. What we got?
So Tyrone Marshall for the Manchester Evening News wrote late last night that Eric Ten Hag is set to hold face-to-face talks with Cristiano Ronaldo on Tuesday, that being today, before he welcomes him back into first-team training at Manchester United. Ten Hag is keen to find common ground with Cristiano Ronaldo and believes he still has a role to play in the Manchester United squad. Now, I've seen a lot of questions on social media and on all these channels, etc., saying, "Oh, why does he keep saying he has a part to play when clearly Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't have a long-term future at Manchester United?" Well, I don't think Eric Ten Hag lies to the press or the media. I think he's very transparent in what he says. Cristiano Ronaldo does have a part to play. And Eric Ten Hag does feel that Ronaldo has a part to play at United going forward, because it would appear to be fairly obvious that Ten Hag has been told, by the way, January, there is no budget to buy another striker. You're not going to get anyone in January. So from Ten Hag's perspective, he's thinking, actually, you know what? Well, Ronaldo's got to have a part to play, because otherwise I've got one striker and he ain't playing at the moment that much because he's injured a lot. And I've got to play Rashford up front. So Ronaldo does have a part to play. It might not be the part to play that Ronaldo wants, because it's a bit part role and it's a role off the bench. And this is the point of the weekend, the result against Chelsea. Ten Hag said it before the game. We're going to miss him. We did miss Ronaldo at the weekend, because he would have been an excellent option to have. When Ronaldo came on against Arsenal earlier this season, he was completely, I wouldn't say changed the game, but offered us something different. Arsenal didn't know how to deal with him. And think at the weekend, if we'd have had him, and it was, at the time it would have been 0-0, 60, 70 minutes, it'd give Chelsea 100%. Something different to think about.
And to be able to put Rashford onto the left and have an actual number 9 in there for 20 minutes,
where Sancho wasn't playing well,
where Sancho wasn't playing well. This is what, but then this is what the issue's been. I mean, I saw a piece that Rio Ferdinand was doing on his Vibe with Five, with Joel Bayer and the boys, and Stephen Howson, and I don't know. I still got the feeling that Rio was still defending him. He said, look, he said it's clear as day, I'm not condoning what he done, but he was basically talking about, like, he doesn't think the conversation and the communication with Ronaldo has been there. He doesn't think that Eric Ten Hag has explained the situation properly to Ronaldo, i.e., you're going to be a squad player. And I just, look, Rio is way more in there than I am. He's got Ronaldo on his WhatsApp. So, but in my opinion, I just don't think that's true. I think a player that missed preseason was already going to get off to a terrible start. Doesn't matter who you are. Even Roy Keane said that. You can't miss preseason. All of it as well, by the way. It wasn't just like he joined on late. He literally came in at relevant. But he played 45 minutes out of a whole month of preseason, building up with a new manager, new ideas, plus fitness. So he was always going to be out of action for the first few games. And to be fair, because Martial flipping got injured so quick, we had to use him earlier than we wanted to, because look, Brighton, he didn't play him. He played Eriksen up front. Then because we lost so badly, we had to go to Brentford, and then he played him straight away. Again, not really ready. So there's that. And I don't think this is about a breakdown in communication of maybe Eric Ten Hag promising something to Ronaldo that he's not giving his word on. And Rio also went on to say that, and a lot of other pros have done this. And look, to some extent, and hear me out on this, because I haven't been defending Ronaldo's actions. I've been very vocal on his actions. But I do look at it all. If you're an elite level sportsman and a GOAT of the game, are you going to struggle to process when it arrives at your doorstep not being that guy anymore? Yes, I understand that. How does it feel? Like you don't know what the bench is like. You don't know what it's like coming on for 3 or 4 minutes. You don't know, how that feels and how to process actually not being the main man anymore, even if you think you should be. I understand an element of that as not an elite level sportsman, as not a GOAT of the game, and of someone who's never played the game anywhere near the highest level.
But a GOAT of this game. Come on.
But a GOAT of this game. I'm fan content. I'm a GOAT of this game. Would that be difficult to understand and process and compute in your brain? I understand that. But I still can't get my head around why that is an excuse for the level of disrespect he showed his teammates in that. And okay, he's half apologized and stuff like that. Let's see. My thing is, I wasn't in the camp of he should never play for us again.
No.
I was in the camp of it clearly isn't working. If he wants out that bad and it's untenable, fine. I trust in Ten Hag to handle this perfectly, because I think he has this whole time. I think he's been nothing but transparent with.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think also, to your point, this is why I don't understand when they say, it's been disrespectful that he's been on the bench so often. But if you miss, when he literally missed like 2 months, essentially, pre-season, factor in the tour, factor in the games, factor in the 2 or 3 weeks it was actually them at Carrington prior to that. He missed almost 2 months. So he shouldn't have been starting games for 2 months anyway. He would have been on the bench. He couldn't play every game. So that takes that out of it. And then by that point, the team's settled. The team's playing well, because after that first 2 games, they have been playing well. We lost 1 game of our last 9. So he's going to struggle to get in anyway. And when he has been playing, he hasn't been as effective. And I agree with you. Whilst we're not close to the situation, whilst we haven't been in the same meetings that Ten Hag and Ronaldo might have been with each other, I don't have any doubts in my mind that Eric Ten Hag said it himself. It's one of your favorite quotes, Flex, that you can look anyone in the eye and tell them their decisions. I have no doubts in my mind that he said to Ronaldo, like, mate, this is going to be the guy that's starting at the moment, and whether it's because you're not suited to the team or you're not ready or whatever the excuse or rationale may be, I cannot believe in my sort of mind's eye that Ten Hag wouldn't have explained that situation to Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo clearly doesn't agree with it or doesn't believe it, but going back to what I said last night on the full view, it's the manager's prerogative. It's the manager's priority. That is the manager's job, to pick the side and choose who he believes is or is not good enough or ready enough to play the game and bring on whoever he wants at any time of the game. You can talk about disrespect, but to me, the biggest disrespect is someone walking out on their team and going home before the game's over, not being brought on and played. So the one thing I would say with this is, when I see reports that, they're going to have face-to-face talks today, and if Ronaldo can acquiesce to understanding his role as a bit part player for the remainder of the season, then he'll be introduced back into the squad. That, to me, does not paint a issue that has been resolved. Like, when you see a report like that, it would appear that both people are going into that meeting going, don't know how this one's going to go. Because the outcome's going to be either you're reintroduced to the squad or you continue in the situation you're in.
What do you think will happen? Do you think there could be something more to it? Because some of the media outlets are again, it's Ronaldo and it's Ronaldo in the news, so it's they have to hype this up like a big moment. It's face-to-face showdown. He's going to learn his fate. Do you think there's anything in that where there could be a situation where he doesn't give Ten Hag the right vibes, and Ten Hag either says, well, okay, well, you're not in the squad for. I think if he's not at training tomorrow or today, we'll see. We'll see if there's pictures of him. Well, I know he's been driving into Carrington training with the under-23s. If he's not in the senior squad for Wednesday's training session before the Europa League, and indeed, obviously, if he's not training with the first team on Wednesday, he ain't going to be in the squad on Thursday. So I think these 2 days are really important. But do you think there's a chance that he either continues the ban until there's different action, or once there isn't the right action after the first ban, they'll try and find a way where until further notice you're just not until the World
Yeah,
Cup.
I don't think anything like that, because this isn't a situation where he walked out of the stadium, went home, and he never came back. Like, he was in training the day
Yeah, he's
after
been
that,
back
or
since.
the day after that, or whatever. And he
And
did
he's
put
put
that
out
post out,
that
and
statement
put that
straight
thing on
away.
social media. So I think that there'll be some form of compromise. I think it'll probably be a case of Ten Hag saying, "Look, I'm sorry. You're going to have to accept being a bench player." And Ronaldo
I don't
might
think
be
he'll
like,
say I'm sorry.
but
Yeah,
you're a bench player.
yeah.
It's just, we've got other options in the squad. It's clear.
That,
That's what he will
yeah.
say, something like that. And Ronaldo will not accept that. But in terms of, I totally agree. But there'll be a compromise of, if that's how you see it, maybe we reevaluate this in January. Or Ten Hag can say, I'm sure Ten Hag will say, like, if you really want to go in January and there's an offer on the table, maybe we can talk closer to the time about seeing some of your contract in January. But for now, my request of you is to be professional and just respect my wishes until then, and set a good example to the rest of the team and the rest of the club and the fans. And don't take your legacy by this being it. You want this to be the note.
Though? You know what's mad though? Yeah, I agree with that bit. What's mad about this is that this is actually basically back to square one again. Because actually, if you think about Ten Hag arriving there with Ronaldo there, okay, in the press conferences before anything could even happen, we remember he shut down loads of things. Like, I expect goals from him. He's amazing. I'm looking forward to working with him. But I think as soon as he wasn't on that preseason tour, and again, we still have to respect that actually at the time was due to family reasons. That's what we know as the official line. Whether you think differently or not, it was family reasons. But also with the backstory of him wanting to leave and trying to facilitate moves, or something was going on. But also, when I say back to square one, I think Ten Hag always saw him as this. He always saw it as, he can't build a whole team around Ronaldo. I'm going to find a way where he can be a squad player, where he can contribute. First of all, I need to get him up to speed. It was like a process of elimination of things that Ten Hag had to deal with. But Ronaldo's not here. He's not on this tour. I have to put everything into this squad. Actually, Martial's the one for me. I prefer that. He's here. He's present. So I can actually work with him. And wow, look what he's producing, albeit it's pre-season. Rashford's the one for me. I need to get him going, etc., etc. Then we start the season the way we did. Again, Ten Hag's got baptisms of fire. You can't worry about Ronaldo. And he had to lean on him against Brentford. And that was the worst performance that we've probably ever seen in recent times. But there's a lot of candidates for that.
Certainly under Ten Hag.
Under Ten Hag, it definitely is. Well, yeah, because at least City is still City. They're not, Brentford aren't City, and we got absolutely smashed. Then, the next game's Liverpool. Damn right, I'm not going to start Ronaldo. And quite a few of those players who played poorly, it was Malacia was out of the team. Maguire was out of the team. Who else was out of the team? Fred.
Shaw went out of the team, didn't he? And then it was
Shaw
Malacia.
went out of the team. Yeah. Malacia coming for Liverpool after that Brentford game. So I just feel like, Varane then started the next game. So everything that happened for a reason. And I think actually this just goes back to square one, where Ten Hag explains to him again, because I don't think the message would be different. Like you said, Owen, this is the role you're going to play. Or this is the role I have for you. If you can't do it, then maybe we do have to let you go now. Then he'll probably say, well, you know what? Take that to Richard Arnold and John Murtough, etc. I'll explain to them that you're basically refusing to be this. Like, you're saying you can't do it, and I can't have you around here if you're not going to guarantee me that your attitude's not going to be like that. Go to them and find a solution. Until then, I won't pick you. You're not going to be available for selection. But you're right. I think it will go the other way. I think he'll be back in training today. And I think it will be, again, a testament to how Ten Hag wanted to handle this, which was quick to the point.
I think he'll start Thursday. I think he'll start Thursday. I think he'll be involved. That's why, again, I didn't subscribe to he's never going to play for United again, because there's been, I wouldn't say there's been total remorse from Ronaldo, but there at least has been
definitely not total.
But there's been an acknowledgement from him that could have handled that better, and I should have handled that better, and I should.
And that's a significant step.
And that is a significant step. Again, I don't think he's going to, Ten Hag's going to say, oh, you're a rotation player, you're a bench player. He's going to be like, you're right. I just didn't understand. I was being too stubborn. He still believes he should be playing at the top level every single game, and he should still be putting up numbers. He looks at someone like Erling Haaland going, I should be doing that. I can do that. I can score that many goals. Even in that's why he's at where he's at, will achieve what he's achieved in his career. But, clearly a lot of people see that differently. And I think the compromise will be, let's just get to January. Let's get to January. Let's put United front. You said in your statement, we got to remain united. So as the manager and a senior player, let's, respect my decisions. I'll respect you. I'll try. If you feel disrespected, I apologize for that. I'm having this meeting with you now to tell you, try and, open that communication a bit more to tell you how I see you. Let's get to January, because I say get to January, let's get to mid-November, because then it's over. You're going to the World Cup, and then even after that, I know there are games in late December, but we can say, heavy World Cup, you haven't been ready, blah blah blah. We can do something there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's just get to the World Cup, and then we can sort something out after that. I would feel would be the most appropriate compromise. And let's get people stop talking about you in a negative light.
Let's just move it on. I mean, we said it. We said it yesterday, and you said it actually. We should be talking about the team doing well and stuff like that, which we did go on to do, because that's what we said was going to do, which you did. And we spoke about the Ronaldo situation as well, because that's what a fan channel does. It talks about everything that goes on. We don't just talk about one thing. We're going to talk about everything. And you
can't ignore it. I think, obviously the priority and the hope is, and like I said last night, we want to, and we did talk about how well Manchester United are playing. The results are there. But at the same time, you can't totally ignore it, because that's what we've done all season to this point. So you were there on tour. It was always the elephant in the room. We've seen what happens when you ignore it. We've seen what happens when you go, it will be fine, it will resolve itself. It doesn't. You have to talk about it. 100%. And the manager and the player themselves are talking about it today. And I think it's one of those situations where they do kind of go a bit hand in hand, because they're so different. The dichotomy is there. On one hand, you're playing the best football. United, certainly, I believe, are playing the best football they've played in ages. But at the same time, there's this giant elephant in the room. And they almost go a bit hand in hand, because the question is one a result of the other? Are we playing so well because we're not playing Ronaldo? Or could we be playing better if there wasn't this influence of the Ronaldo looming over? They do go hand in hand. So you can't not talk about them. But at the same time, it shouldn't just be one focus completely on that, which, like I said, I thought we did a good job of last night.
Yeah, exactly. Top stuff. And everybody enjoyed it. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Just quickly before we wrap up, since we're heading towards, Europa settings at the moment, I was just looking at the groups, right? And I still don't know how we're going to manage to finish first, because it was going to take winning at Sociedad by a big margin, maybe, because let's just paint a picture of this. And I'm not jinxing it. We still got games to play. But let's presume that we beat Sharif, right, on Thursday. That'll put us on 12 points, right? And look, Sociedad have ammonia, right? Yeah. In Sociedad, I believe.
So it's heading to that showdown. It's heading to the Spanish showdown.
So it's heading to that showdown. So even if it is, right, they're going to be on 19 points, so 15 points. And we're going to be on 12. So if we beat them, we'll be level on points. But would need to be ahead on goal difference. And already their goal difference is 7 and ours is 3.
Well, does it? This is the question, because obviously I know it goes to head. If we get a better result than them beating us 1-0, do we finish top then? Is that how it works? Because I don't know if it's necessarily completely goal difference in the Europa League. It's very strange, isn't it? Because sometimes you can have better goal difference, but they go head to head. But then if we went to there and won 3-0,
3-0 instead of
does that count better as a 1-0? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it's interesting. I think, because it has hardly been spoken about. All that's been spoken about in the media is that we're going to need a clean slate, and even Ten Hag said we're going to have to go there and beat them
and win. Yeah. So
because I still don't get, by just winning, if it's on goal difference, like I said, they're on 7.
Yeah.
And we're on 3. So I don't, because we conceded we conceded bloody 2 goals against Ammonia that we shouldn't have. And conceded 1 against bloody.
Or even with the goal difference, does it get into, it's not actually goal difference, it's goals for? Like sometimes back in the day, right?
Even that they've got 8 and we got 6.
Back in the day, it used to just be, wouldn't it? If you were level on points, went to goal difference. I feel like those goalposts have moved somewhat, because it's like, actually no, it's head to head. And they go, well, when it does go to goal difference, it's goals for instead of goals against. We want to reward teams
Yeah.
about scoring goals. So I don't know. I think
We'll
it's a
see.
good question to ask.
I will look to find that out in the next days, and I'm sure you will as well. And you are
Yes,
reliable.
absolutely.
Guys, thanks for joining us for the morning show. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to join the memberships, you can do so. Link is in the video description below and above our heads, as you can see here. The match view will be there on Thursday. Make sure you guys join that. Match day reloaded every single night, every single morning after the night before. There will be a match day reloaded where you can look at the best moments of what's been happening, look at some of the breakdowns and opinions from pundits and outlets and other people online as well. And the full view, if you missed it last night, top show again. It's good energy around the full view. It's really buzzing at the minute. Make sure you check that out as well. And we're going to have some great content coming up to you in the build-up for our Europa League game against Sharif. Guys, I'm out of here. We're out of here. See you again soon. Peace.